So I did a video the other day. I talked to this man. I believe his first name is Corey. Can't recall his last name at this time. Okay. Well, Corey was in Zoom court, and y'all know that's something we get into over here. That is like a new thing that we do over here called Court is Messy, girl, because court really do be messy, where we sit and we watch real life cases, okay? Real life cases, all right? And this particular case actually ended up going very viral. In this case, this guy's license was suspended and he was not supposed to be driving. But this fool literally calls in to the Zoom court while he's driving. Are you okay? Are you okay, sir? So he called in. The judge felt the way about it. And what the judge decided to do was throw his ass in jail because he was never supposed to be driving to begin with. Okay. And now I want us to just get into his case because now I feel like there is a new twist. Okay. What we were hearing was after he was, the story went viral, the man was supposed to be locked up because he was driving on a suspended license or whatever as he was pulling into the doctor's office. It's being said that his license should have been reinstated a long time ago. That's a clerical error on the judge's and his team's behalf because he was supposed to be cool to drive 2 years ago. And then now, girl, we learning that was all lies. None of that was true. So the judge and the people is saying that, baby, you never had a license ever to drive anywhere. And that is the gag for me. So let us get into that really quickly. Okay, let's check that out. Matter of fact, let me get my headphones on real quick so we can get into it, okay, and see what they have to say about this.
New tonight, a shocking twist for the man who went viral for driving during a virtual court hearing for a suspended license.
Corey Harris showed up in person at a Washtenaw County courthouse today, hoping to set the record straight and put this entire saga behind him. Instead, we're reporting on a brand new chapter.
7 News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig has been keeping up with the twists and turns of this one. She was in court today as it all unfolded.
Well, nothing went the way Corey Harris thought it was going to go in court today. The judge started off by slamming Corey Harris, saying he's never even had a valid driver's license. And the afternoon ended with Harris going to jail.
Baby.
The person that needed to be blamed is the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He didn't do what he should have done.
The judge came ready to set the record straight with Corey Harris, who has claimed that he thought the suspension on his driver's license was removed 2 years ago.
That court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His driving privileges were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it.
The judge said Harris never paid his clearance fees with the court or the Secretary of State to lift the suspension. But that's not all.
He has never had a Michigan license, ever.
We asked Harris yesterday if he ever had a valid driver's license. He claimed he didn't remember. Do you ever recall having one?
I know you lying.
Having a driver's license?
I knew I had a permit. I knew that.
A driver's permit or?
I believe. I don't know. I can't say yes and I can't say no.
And that's odd because the Pittsfield Township police officer and prosecutor said during that October traffic stop, Corey Harris knew what was up.
At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license, close quote. The question was, are you a valid driver? Quote, I am not.
There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid.
Then came the unexpected.
He has a warrant for his arrest.
Corey Harris was taken into custody for what appears to be a 9-year-old bench warrant out of Allen Park.
Was I
9.
shocked? Absolutely. Did I want my client to walk in, then get escorted to the back? Absolutely not. That was not the plan.
The shocking thing about it, for a driving while license suspended, that he didn't take care of.
It should be something that a lesson for all of us. Handle your business. At the end of the day, Handle your business.
In Ann Arbor, Kimberly Craig, 7 News, Detroit.
Baby, that's messy. I am a piece of confusion. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, the judge said that you were supposed to have an unsuspended license in 2022, but then come to find out you've never even had a license in the state of Michigan. Girl, I am bamboozled. I am bamboozled. Like, what is going on? Thank you, Caribbean gal, for the super chat. He's a bald-headed lie, Jamie. Your face is mine. Same, sis, same. What is going on? He's a fat faison liar. He is. So y'all know I went and found a longer clip for us to get into. Just a little piece. Okay, this is real long, but we're going to try and get into just a little bit because I want to hear what the judge was really saying.
People are saying, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion that the Pittsfield Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling was. And I will tell you that that assertion is absolutely correct.
So it sounds like what he's saying is when he had sentenced him, when he was on that Zoom call for driving, you know, while his license was suspended, Corey and his team or whoever went back and they tried to say, oh, well, actually his license should have been reinstated a long time ago. This is actually an error of the courts. And so they decided, his courtroom decided to do further research to see if it was an issue of theirs or not. And this is where he found additional details and he's saying, this is inaccurate. The BS y'all tried to put out there about my courtroom, I'm finna get your ass together right now because it wasn't us. It was your motherfucking client. And I'm finna let this know today.
With reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety or to this court ultimately at the May 15th hearing. And I think it needs to be stated, I've been asked for comments. I have refrained from comments as is my normal practice is. This court with the pending case will speak on the record. And so I am going to make sure that the record is very, very clear as to what this court knows and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it is because of what was said about what this whole process was. And that an indication, counsel, and I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Absolutely.
I know it is not coming from you, but you also know how I am.
I do.
And the thing is that if for whatever reason, the one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it and did.
Ooh.
But when I'm not wrong and when people are not to blame, then it also needs to be said. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license. Let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever.
He's done.
And has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know you know that, but that wasn't at all said. But it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license. Ever. There is also then, and you know, I will, when it is necessary, come to the defense of my sister courts, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. The chief judge answered the question. But I will tell you, that court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong.
Now, who out there
His
telling them lies?
his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something.
Gotcha.
He didn't do it. Therefore, the friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State.
So
Now, I hated that I had to look at all.
I think I'm understanding this right. So he never had a license, but he did something that revoked him from even having any type of driving privileges there. But I guess the time limit was up, so he should have been unsuspended or unrevoked or whatever from being able to drive at all. So now he can drive, meaning what it sounds like to me, he's supposed to go get his damn driver's license. Right? But instead, you continue to operate a vehicle without even getting a driver's license. Girl, that's some card, girl.
All of this, but when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order. There's then an indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault.
Y'all
Let me tell you
blaming
something.
everybody but who y'all
Secretary
supposed
of
to
State
blame.
did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, they did nothing because they hadn't gotten anything from the court because Mr. Harris had not paid the reinstatement. This week, or the latter part of last week, once he paid that, Saginaw friend of the court did what they should do, and they sent it. Immediately, based upon the information that I have, the Secretary of State did what they do every day.
This judge said, y'all not finna lie on me,
They
baby.
took that suspension off of his driving record, and he was then unsuspended. And then your client did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a reinstatement. Okay. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
Thank you.
I am not done yet.
Okay.
All right.
You're covering a lot of the points for me. Thank you, Your Honor.
And so that came down to that. So the information at the time that I had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had, was all correct at the time of both Pittsfield stop as well as the May 15th day. It was all correct. There was no error by anybody.
Eat them up.
It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid. Now, here's the other thing, and
He pissed.
like maybe in church where I say I'm about finished now, but the other part of this is this stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon are driving while license suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday afternoon. We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back, which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, I actually watch things. You look very nice on TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Your Honor.
There was something that was said that was very disturbing to me. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with everybody. The question was asked along the lines between October of 2023 and the point in time of the May 15th hearing, was there an attempt by Mr. Harris to correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me, so that you know.
Okay.
Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. And being involved into the accident, that he was basically bedridden or at least housebound, he could not get to the Secretary of State. that was set up there. And I'm going to presume, because my knowledge of defense counsel is, I know you don't misrepresent anything.
Right.
You never do.
Right.
Come on, Judge.
That's not true.
Okay.
He purposely stated that he could not get to the Secretary of State, which, for the way we handle things in this court, would have placed him in a whole different category. We would have tried to find a way. Let's figure it out.
Fat face on liar.
And the reason I know that is because Mr. Harris, on December 28th of 2023, do you know where you were?
Where was he?
December.
What? Watch he say he don't know, like he don't remember having a license.
23rd.
2023.
Was he locked up, Your Honor?
I know I was laid up from our
You were
accident.
at the Secretary of State's office. And you were at the Secretary of State's office because you redid and got your new Michigan ID.
Oh, not
I
a
have
license,
the
but an
date.
ID.
That's the date you did it.
Ooh, eat him up, Your
December
Honor.
28th, 2023. You did. And so that you also know, and in all fairness to counsel, because I don't know if counsel knows this or not, the way I know that he's never had a license is because May 3rd, he was 19 at the time. May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID. Counsel knows, so I do, you cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license. One of the two.
Did he know the difference, sir?
He has
Your Honor?
religiously every year gotten a new ID.
Thinking he getting a new damn
And so
license.
he
I'm finna
knows.
fall out.
That he doesn't have a license.
Does he know, Your Honor?
And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside. And we all go through the process as we do with all of the people coming here to try to get him his license back.
Baby, that is messy. I'm questioning now if he really knew he did not have a license, and did he misunderstand? Benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to help him out, y'all. Did he think that getting an ID was equal to a license, because they are two totally different things? And maybe that, no, girl, he done went too goddamn long. That man knew what he was doing, girl. Because even if he didn't know in the beginning, he knew when he started getting them motherfucking tickets. Hello? And what he was doing with that ID, what it sounds like to me, was he was driving, got caught up driving, so they revoked his driving privilege. Okay? You can't even try to go get you a license because you've been out here operating without even having one. That's what it seems like to me. So once you pay your dues or whatever, then we'll reinstate you to be up on the board to be able to go and at least apply and sit for a driver's license test or whatever. That's what it sounded like to me. And he ain't have his ducks in a row. He been out here finessing and then gonna sit up there trying to talk about something he don't remember. You gonna remember. And let me tell you something, you're going to remember these, because now social media done made this thing viral. Tell me some, I remember having permit. I don't know. No, you know. You damn know. And you also knew when you took your arse down there and you tried to lie on that judge's department in his office and sit up there and say that it was inaccurate and they misdid their work, knowing the whole time that it was you. And you got this good black woman down here to the camera embarrassing her damn self as your attorney, only for her to have to break down and keep it honest and say, take care of your business. That's what this really boils down to. Now, I'm going to get paid anyway, because that's just how it is. Okay, I'm going to get my check. But take care of your motherfucking business. Don't have me down here wasting my time. Okay? Handle your business, baby. Girl, that's embarrassing. He knew. You knew what the hell you was doing. You've been doing this for too long to not know. So, that's where you are, and we wish you good luck. because that's terrible, honey, baby. Stop playing with these folks and go get your license. Okay? Just go get it. You know, I don't know. Maybe you feel like I don't know. I mean, he ain't afraid to drive, because there are some people that are afraid to drive at his age. There are people that don't feel the need to drive, you know, depending on the city and state you live in or whatever. More so the city, you know. But to not even have a damn license, sit for the test, and you were out here just driving, I just feel like that's something that a 16-year-old would do. I feel like that's something a younger person would do. When they want to flex, be around their friends, they ain't even got no driver's license. But sir, you're giving older than me. Because they said that you was about 19 in 1999. And so you're definitely giving hella older than me, boo. Okay? It's giving pushing 50 if you ain't up there already, is what it's kind of sounding like, just a piece. You too damn big and grown to be playing these games and playing in this judge's face like that. And he locked you up again, is what it sounds like. He done sent you on down there I hate this, as he should have. And you should have known he was going to lock you up, because you lied on his courtroom. And tried to make it seem to America that they were wrong. And knowing the whole time that it was you. And he had to dig deep to find out that you never had a license to begin with. It was an ID. So I don't know. Maybe he was confused or something. It's hard to believe that, because you're just too damn old, okay? And I feel like you've gotten enough tickets in your life for you to know this, so you should have did better. You knew better, do better. I